Okay, I've got another little video here which is detailing the GUI that I've written. GUI is basically the PC based user interface that allows you to control the focus rail. So this PC user interface, or GUI, is communicating with the focus rail control board that I featured in another video via USB. So it's sending commands and getting stuff back, and between the two of them and the user, they conspire to control the rail. I've split it into various boxes, or group boxes as they're termed, hopefully sensibly. Got a little about button, just tells you what it is and me and copyright and stuff. We've got a box over here on the right which is connection, connect or disconnect, referring to connection to the control board via USB. Position control, so we can disconnect and everything greys out, and when you're connected everything is highlighted or becomes active. So this position control is arbitrary. I mean, this just refers to, this has nothing to do with slices or anything like that, or this just is just a box to move the motor. So you've got coarse, medium, fine, fine in, medium in, coarse in, where coarse, medium and fine movements are dictated by whatever you put in these boxes. So at the moment we've got coarse is 100 steps, medium is 50 steps, and fine is 10 steps. And that's what you'll get, and you can up and down these and put in whatever you want. There's another box here which is a drop down rather, which gives you the micro step select for the motor. So that's full, half, quarter, eighth and 16ths. So you've got to take into account that if you do 100 steps of full, that's going to be a lot more movement than 100 steps of 16th. Well, it will be 16 times more to be accurate. So yeah, so but you'll obviously get a much finer resolution at a 16th step than you will at say a half, but you just need to ask yourself, well, how much resolution do I actually need? I mean, you know, this is all depending on the thing you're trying to photograph. You know, how much, if you're trying to photograph something the size of a pea, then obviously you're going to need quite a lot of fine resolution. If it's a large flower, then you probably don't need as much resolution. There's a halt button, so if you're halfway through a sequence and you decide you want to sort of stop immediately, you can hit that and it will stop the sequence and then wind the motor back to the start point, so you can start again or choose to reconfigure things. Start stop positions, I'll go through this in a minute. You can set a start position and a stop position in steps, clear it, and it will give you a total number of steps. It's probably easier if I just demonstrate it rather than witter on about it. So let's assume that we've got, say, I don't know, a flower that we want to take we want to do a multi-focus step stack across this flower. So you can do it multiple ways. I mean, you can use the lens to focus slightly in front of the flower if you want, or you can use this position control to move the actual rail with the camera and not touch the lens at all. So let's assume that we go medium in. So it's now told us that we did that medium. We did it 4 times. It's 50 steps per hit. So we've now got a total of 200 steps we moved, and we're now gonna say, right, okay, that's our start point. So we're now slightly in front of the flower, our arbitrary flower. That's the way I tend to start anyway. I tend to start just slightly in front of the first foreground focal point. You can always throw that image away if you don't want it, but you don't want to lose focal slices, so you might as well start slightly ahead. So we're going to hit start point. So stop point now highlights. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go, okay, so let's move the focus rail to the furthest background point we want in focus, or maybe even a little bit further beyond that. So we can go, so we'll go medium in, coarse in, coarse in. So we've now gone in 300 steps. We say go a bit further, say 400 steps. So now we've gone to the rear of the object that we want to take images of, and we hit stop. Now what the controller's done is it's moved the motor from that end point back to the start point. So we're now positioned where we started, with our ready to go basically. Now this is the bit down here. As I said, these movements up here are all just arbitrary. You're just moving the motor around. It's this slice control which dictates how many images you're going to take and the distance between those images. So at the moment we've set up 10 steps per slice. We moved 400 steps in total between the start and the stop. So we moved 400 steps between our foreground and our background limits. We've told it we want images at 10 steps per slice. So 10 steps per slice across 400 slices is 40 slices. Quite a lot of slices. It's going to be a bit boring to watch that for this demo, so let's make that 100 steps per slice. So now we're going to do 400 slices in steps of 100 steps per slice. So we're going to get four slices. Now we're going to get 5 images. And I'll explain that. I mean, obviously, if you draw it down, if you think about it, if you've got 4 slices, and you take an image at the start, and you take an image between the slices, and you take an image at the end, you actually get one more image than you've got slices. So you will get 5 shots across 4 slices. So we're pretty much good to go. We've got auto return ticked. So at the end of the sequence, the software will move the motor back to the start. So if we hit auto slice, I held the mic over to the motor, so hopefully you could hear the motor actually whirring there. So it did 5 exposures, and then it returned back to the beginning. We can go forward in manually, so we can go next slice and it'll take a shot, move forward, next slice, take a shot, move forward, and it would go all the way up to, as I mentioned before, we've got 5 exposures because we've got 4 slices. So we've got an image at the start and an image at the end. Yeah, and then we can then go return to start. And then we can either go next slice manually, or we can go auto slice again. We can do it as many times as we want. So that's, and if we want to release the shutter manually, you can hit the shutter release and it will fire the camera whenever you hit that. And you can also set the shutter delay, which is the delay in seconds between when it takes the shot and then when the delay between when it moves the rail and takes the shot. So if you've got something very delicate, like a very fine flower or something that needs possibly time to settle, if there's any vibration, then you can extend that shutter delay as much as you want to allow everything to settle before you take the shot. Okay, I think that pretty much covers it. I hope that's clear. If it's not clear, then I can do it again, or I can change things so that they're easier, but it seems clear to me, but then it would, didn't it, because I wrote it. So yeah, feedback would be handy. Anyway, thanks for watching.